All right, you're good to go.
Ready? Awesome. All right, hi everyone. Sadly, I cannot see all of your beautiful faces because you're facing my dad, but I'm glad you can see me. Hi, I hope everyone's doing okay with staying inside and everything that's going on. We're going to do it a little bit differently than we have been the last couple times that I taught. So we're going to go ahead and run through 2 sequences, 3 times each, getting a little faster each time. That way you guys can practice it and maybe do it in your own free time as well. So we'll start with a warm-up. I'm going to go ahead and take hero's pose on my knees. You can sit crisscross if you want, that's fine too. And first we're going to focus on establishing the breath like always. So hands can be resting on the knees, making sure your shoulders are down and away from your ears. You can close your eyes or have a soft gaze on me. Either way. And we're just going to start to breathe. Making sure that you're inhaling through the nose, filling up the belly. When you breathe out, it's through your nose as well. If you would like to incorporate something called Ujjayi Breath, which I think I had mentioned to a couple of you before, you slightly constrict your back, the back of your throat, putting a little bit of pressure there. So kind of like if you were going to fog up a window, but with your mouth closed. Okay, and that helps build internal heat. Taking the next couple breaths on your own. If you've brought your eyes to close, slowly flutter them open. We're going to inhale to reach our arms up to our ceiling. And we're going to exhale to bring them to cactus arms. That's bringing your biceps parallel to the ground, forearms straight up. Inhale, back up to the ceiling. Exhale for cactus arms, really trying to pinch the shoulder blades and open up through the chest. And just keep doing this with your own breath, inhaling to come up, exhaling to come down, feeling the stretch in the front of the shoulders and on top. Making sure that your core is engaged the entire time, pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Go ahead on your next breath in, bring your arms back up, and when we breathe out, we're going to bring our left hand to our right knee and our right hand behind us. You don't want to pull yourself with your hands to twist. You really want to engage your core and use that to twist. So your hands are there just for stability. Come back up to the center. You can go to the other side now, right hand on the left knee, left hand behind you. Twisting with the core. Beginning to integrate the breath into this as well. So inhaling back to center. Exhaling to one side. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to the other side. Go ahead and continue doing that at your own pace. Really lengthening out the spine with your inhales to make it tall. And reaching over on the exhales. Twists are really good for waking up the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what relaxes you. So we love twists. Go ahead and bring your arms back up to center. Heart center. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We're going to go ahead and move into a tabletop. So try your best to have your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. I know a lot of us aren't in front of mirrors, so it's hard to tell. But we're going to move into some cat-cow. So on your inhale, you're going to drop your belly, lift your head, feel the stretch in the front body, and exhale to round your spine and point the crown of your head towards the floor. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the head. cow. Exhale, round the spine and drop the head for cat. Keep doing this at your own pace. You can wiggle the hips around. You can move in sort of a circle if that feels good. Really play around with this pose. This is for you to play around with and for you to warm up through the center of the body. From here, we're going to make sure our palms are firmly planted into the mat. Okay, even pressure through all the fingers. You're going to curl your toes and you're going to come into a plank, okay, making sure that you're actively pressing away from the mat and you're not letting yourself dump into your shoulders. So pushing yourself away, core is engaged, belly button is pulling towards the spine, and we're going to lower down together on a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Doing 3 cobras to warm up. We'll make the first one a baby cobra. Inhale to come up. And exhale to come down. Coming up again, maybe a little bit higher if you'd like. Breathing out to come down. And I'm going to come all the way up this time, but you certainly don't have to. And back down. Okay, from here, we're going to go into a down dog. I'm going to move through tabletop, curling my toes, lifting my hips up and back. And take a moment to arrive here. You can walk the heels out. Okay, you can bend your knees and straighten them if you'd like to. Okay, this is more of halfway between a plank and a down dog. What you want is a straight line of energy from your hands all the way to your tailbone. So if your knees need to be bent like this, that is completely fine. Go ahead and lift the right leg up. We're going to bend it to open up through the right side body. You can look up through that right armpit if that feels good. You can also straighten that right leg if that feels good. And if you've straightened your leg, bending it before you bring it back down to meet your left foot. Moving on to the other side now, lifting up into a 3-legged dog, getting that stretch through the left side body, looking up through the left armpit. You can straighten that leg if you'd like. When you're ready, bend it if you straightened it to bring your feet back down to the mat. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. And exhale to walk your feet to your hands. We're going to go into ragdoll here. So I'm going to bring my feet to the width edge of the mat. I'm going to grab opposite elbows. You certainly don't have to. You can just hang if you want. And I'm going to put a generous bend in my knees. Okay, this protects my lower back since I have some lower back issues. And it also ensures that I get a good stretch in my hamstrings. And just breathe. You can stay still or you can sway side to side and play around with how that feels. Go ahead and inhale, bring your hands to your shins for a halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold forward again. We'll heel toe our feet until they're about hips width distance apart. And on an inhale, we're going to rise up slowly until we meet in mountain, standing palms facing forward at the top of your mat. Go ahead and close your eyes. Taking a moment now to work on our intention and remember the breath. If you've lost it through that warm-up, now is the time to bring it back. What I would like everyone to focus on this class is foundation. So foundation is in your feet and your hands, and it's also in your breath. So making sure that we're finding our foundation through our deep inhales and exhales through the nose. And we're also finding a deep and even foundation through our hands and feet in these poses. Okay, and I'll remind you throughout. So starting in mountain pose, we're going to inhale, reach our arms up to the ceiling for high mountain. Okay, here we're going to make sure that our arms are engaged, our shoulders are pressed away from our ears, and our core is engaged. So tucking your tailbone even just a little bit really lengthens out the spine and engages the core. On an exhale, you're going to lead with your heart, hinge at the hips, have a tiny bend in the knees to protect the back. Come all the way down for a forward fold. Breathe in, bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway. Breathe out, fold forward. So from here, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to plant our palms, and we're just going to step back into downward facing dog. Take a moment here, hang out in this down dog. Maybe pedal at the feet one more time. When we're all ready, we're going to breathe in, lift our right leg up. When you're in three-legged dog, okay, hips are as square as possible, so they shouldn't be open like this. They should sort of be squared off, and your foot is flexed, almost like you're trying to stamp the back wall. And keep in mind, it doesn't really matter how high or low your foot is, okay, as long as it's raised. Okay, when you breathe out, you're going to bring it in between your hands. Take a moment, find your foundation, just like we talked about. Pause here for an inhale and an exhale. And we'll rise to high crescent lunge. You're firm through your entire right foot. You have a deep bend in the right knee. If you want more of a challenge, you can try to get this right quad closer or up, parallel, that's the word, to your mat. Back leg is engaged, arms are engaged, core is engaged. This is a very active pose. From here, we're going to fan out to warrior two. So the left hand is going to come down. Left heel is going to dial down. You want to make sure your knee is in track over your foot and your knee isn't going inward. So again, that foundation in that right foot is really important. Foundation in the left foot important as well, pushing through that entire foot. Arms are out, you're looking over your right fingers. Really take a moment just to feel the strength in this pose. Okay, and if you're holding tension somewhere where you don't need it, go ahead and let it go. When you're ready, you're gonna flip your front palm, that's your right hand, lean forward. And you're gonna lean back. You're gonna bring the bend back into that right knee because it's easy to lose in this pose. And you're actually going to actively reach up and back. Okay, so just reaching back makes that left side kind of crunchy. Reaching up and back creates space in both the left and the right side. Take one more breath in, and when you breathe out, we're going to come to side angle. You can rest your arm here if you want. Okay, just make sure you're not putting your weight into it. What's holding you up here is your obliques. So what I like to do is I like to rest my hand on the inside of my shin. This helps me engage my obliques and it helps me twist open. Remember your foundation, remember your breath. If your breath becomes shaky or uncomfortable, it's a sign that you've taken it too far and you need to dial back. We're going to inhale back up to warrior two. We're going to straighten that front leg. And we're going to exhale, come back to a reverse warrior with a straightened leg. Feel the stretch in the right side body. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Firmly connected to your mat. Coming back to warrior two arms. We're going to inhale, hinge our hips back. Exhale, lower that right hand. You can rest it on your upper shin, lower shin, or even on the floor. Okay. If you're resting and you're closing off through the body, you need to bring your hand a little bit higher. So the goal is to really open up and have sort of your chest pulling towards the ceiling. And again, it doesn't matter how high you go or how much you twist as long as you're trying your best. From here, we're going to bring a bend into that front knee. We're going to step the left foot about halfway in, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. All 10 toes are facing the same direction. We're going to inhale, come to a flat back. And we're going to exhale and fold over that right leg for a deep hamstring stretch. Okay, keeping a nice micro bend in the knee to have more control over this pose. Or you could bend that right knee even more if that feels good to you. And just take a moment to let go through the neck and the shoulders. Relax the face. Take a moment and ask yourself how your feet feel. Do you have most of your weight in the front? Is most of your weight on your heels? Or is it nice and even? From here, we're going to bend both our legs, step the left foot to meet the right foot. Now we're in forward fold. Take a moment, get your foundation. Maybe rock back and forth on your feet to see how that feels. And when you breathe in, come to a halfway lift, flatten the back. Breathe out, plant your palms again. Step back into downward facing dog. We're gonna move on to the left side now. Inhale, kick the left leg back. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Finding your breath, finding your foundation here. We're going to breathe in, rise up, high crescent lunge with the left leg forward now. Feeling the back leg engage, feeling the arms engage. Feeling the belly button pull towards the spine. On your next exhale, fanning out into warrior two, dialing the back heel down. Having a deep bend in the front knee if you need to adjust, that's okay. Arms are out to a T, looking over that left hand. And now is a good time to remember that Ujjayi breath if you've forgotten. Okay, your breath is always there for you, and your breath will always help you get through these tough poses. Relaxing through the shoulders. Flipping the front palm, leaning forward, that's with your left palm. And then leaning back into a reverse warrior, reaching up and back, and finding the bend in that front knee again. Getting that nice stretch in the left side body. Coming back to warrior two, arms. Reaching down into extended side angle again. You can have your left forearm resting on your left quad, or your left forearm can press against the inside of your left shin. Really trying to open up through the chest. Coming back up to warrior two, arms, straightening that front leg, reaching back for a straight leg reverse warrior. Really feel the strength in your legs too. So your legs are always engaging in the standing poses, core is still engaged. Find the balance between the effort and the relaxation. When you're ready, bring your arms back to warrior two. Inhale to hinge your hips back. Exhale to lower that left hand to come into triangle pose. Breathing in and out through the nose. Your breath is your partner in this practice. Go ahead and move into pyramid, moving that back foot about halfway in. Bringing the hands to the hips, lifting up halfway to flatten the spine. Exhale to hinge at the hips. Find a deep hamstring stretch in that left leg. When you're ready, bend both legs. Step the right foot forward to meet the left. We're in forward fold. From here, we're going to run through that sequence 2 more times. It's going to be with breath to movement. So I will call out the breathing. Go ahead and just follow me. And this is a pretty fun one, so I'm excited. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg kicks back high. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Inhale to rise up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, fan out, warrior 2. Inhale, reach forward with the right palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Reach up and back. Inhale to stay. Exhale, back to warrior 2 arms. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, side angle. Stay here for breath. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, straighten the leg, reverse the warrior again. Inhale, warrior 2 arms. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, step that left foot halfway in, fold over. Inhale, flatten the spine. Exhale, hold again. Bring the feet together for forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg kicks back. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Inhale to rise up long and strong through the body. Exhale, dial it down, warrior 2. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale to reverse the warrior, feeling that stretch in the left side body. Inhale to stay and exhale to find yourself in side angle. Inhaling to come back up to warrior 2 arms, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reverse with straight leg. Inhale, coming back to warrior 2 arms once more. Exhale, hinge at the hips, lean forward. Inhale, come back up. Step that right foot halfway in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, create that flat back. Exhale, hinge at the hips again, fold over that left leg. Stay here for a moment because it feels good. Go ahead and step your right foot to meet your left. We'll do that sequence 1 more time. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten the back. Exhale, plant your palms, come into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg kicks back. Exhale, right foot comes in between the hands. Inhale to rise into your crescent lunge. Exhale, fan out, warrior 2. Inhale, lean forward, flip the front palm. Exhale to reverse your warrior. Inhale, bring your arms back to warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, come back up, straighten that leg. Exhale, reverse warrior with a straight leg. Inhale, warrior 2 arms. Exhale for triangle. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips, step that left foot out halfway in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale one more time to find that flat back. Exhale, fold over more. Go ahead and bring the left foot to meet the right. Breathe in for a halfway lift. Breathe out. Plant your palms. Step your feet behind you for down dog. Inhale, kick the left leg back. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Inhale to rise up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, fan out to your warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, lean back into reverse warrior. Inhale for warrior two, arms. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, back up. Straighten that leg. Exhale, reverse warrior with straight leg. Inhale, warrior two, arms. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, bring the hands to the hips. Step the right foot about halfway in. And exhale to fold. Breathing in once more, flattening the back. And folding over once more. From here, let's go ahead and step back into downward facing dog and come into our child's pose, knees coming down to the ground. Toes are together, your knees can be in and out. And your arms are reaching forward with your head facing down on your mat. Sitting in that child's pose for just a couple of breaths to rest after that movement that you just did. Keeping that deep inhale through the nose and the deep exhale through the nose or mouth. Remembering again that your breath is your partner in this practice. And whenever you feel like you're struggling, you can always come back to the breath. We're going to start our next sequence now. So we're going to meet at the top of our mat, standing up. Whenever you're ready, let's all take 3 to 5 breaths to get there slowly. All right, so starting in mountain again. Going to inhale, reach up to the ceiling for high mountain. Bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Exhale, sink your hips down and back for chair. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sink lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale one more time, see if you can get a little bit lower. Let's hold this for a couple breaths. I know it's hard. Okay, arms are reaching high. Belly button is always pulling in towards the spine. Feel the heat build in your legs. Accompany it with the Ujjayi breath. Okay, constrict that back throat. Build that heat. And on your next exhale, you can forward fold. Good job, everyone. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. From here, we're going to step our left foot back. So moving into a crescent lunge in a different way. So we're in crescent lunge with our legs. We're going to inhale to rise up once more. Take a moment, find your foundation. Engage through the back leg. Engage through the arms and the core. Feel strong in this pose. When you're ready, fan out to warrior two. Again, feeling strong in this pose as well. Feeling like a warrior. Silly as that sounds. I want you to take these next couple breaths, check in with your foundation, okay, your breath and your feet. Are your feet pressed evenly into the mat? Or are you breathing? From here, we're going to bring both arms up. We're going to straighten both legs, have toes facing slightly out, heels facing slightly in. This is starfish. You can open up through the front body by bending back just a little bit. There's a couple different variations you can do here. So we're going to point our toes in now. And we're going to have our heels slightly out. I like to interlace my fingers behind my back like this. You can grab opposite elbows. You can also just have your arms hang forward. But what we're going to do is heels are out, toes are slightly in. We're going to breathe in to find a tall spine. And we're going to breathe out to hinge at the hips and just hang out in this wide leg forward fold. Take a couple moments to just notice how good it feels. Maybe you can play around with bending one leg and then the other. Being mindful and gentle with our bodies. If you have a bind, keep it as you come back up. We're going to come back out to starfish. We're going to bend our knees. So heels are in, toes are out. We're going to have cactus arms. This is goddess pose. We're going to hold it. Really focus on pulling your knees out to the side, pinching your shoulder blades together, opening up through the front body, building the heat in the legs and the arms and the core. Maybe even tucking that tailbone down just a little bit. When you're ready, you can inhale to come back up. One more time, we'll hinge at the hips, fold forward with our heels out and toes in. From here, we'll go ahead and just keep our feet where they are, except turn them. Plant our palms and bring ourselves into a plank. So now we're at the top of our mat again. We're going to move through a Chaturanga. So lowering down slow. This can be halfway or all the way. And then inhaling to come into up dog or cobra. Okay. Since I have all of you here and you can see me, this is cobra with your quads down on the mat and your legs pretty relaxed. This stretches through the front body more and is easier on your back. If you would like to try up dog, you engage your legs, lift your knees and quads off the mat. This is more of a strength building than it is a flexibility. So up to you. From here, we're going to move into a downward facing dog. Going to inhale, look to the top of our mat. Exhale to walk our feet to our hands. So now we're back in a forward fold. Big toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up, high mountain. Exhale for chair pose. Again, taking a couple breaths, inhaling for length, exhaling to sink deep. This is one of those poses where if you would like to lift your toes up off the mat, you can. Having more weight in your heels, I find helpful for me in this pose. If it also feels like too much with your arms up, feel free to bring them to prayer. Couple more breaths here. Maybe sink a little bit lower. Inhale back up and exhale for a forward fold. Stepping our right foot back now instead of our left. Coming up into our high crescent lunge. Feeling the strength and the length. Exhaling, fanning out to warrior two. From here, we straighten both legs. Heels are slightly out, toes are slightly out, heels are slightly in. Arms are up, you look like a big starfish. You can lean back for a mini back bend, opening up through the front body. From here, point the toes slightly in. Find the bind or no bind for your arms and hinge at the hips for a wide-legged forward fold. We'll just hang out here again for a couple more breaths. Again, you can play around with bending the knees. You can play around with different binds if you'd like. If you choose to switch the bind, I suggest that you come back up to standing before you switch. Just to be careful. We do the same thing now. Coming back up, pointing our toes towards the front of our mat, planting our palms, coming into a plank pose, lowering down halfway or all the way, coming into up dog or cobra, and exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhale to look through the top of your mat. Exhale to walk your feet to your hands for a forward fold. Running through this 2 more times, speeding it up just a little bit, linking the breath to the movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, toes are together, heels are slightly apart. Inhale, high mountain pose. Exhale for chair. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and step that left foot back. Inhale to rise up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, fan out, warrior 2. Inhale, coming into starfish pose. Exhale, toes in, heels out, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. I'm realizing now that I forgot this, so let's add this back in. We're going to inhale, come back up into starfish, so toes are pointing out again. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, toes face towards the front of the mat. Palms come down. Chaturanga. To cobra or up dog. Back to down dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, high mountain. Exhale for chair. Inhale to come back up and exhale for a forward fold. Stepping the right foot back now, we're going to inhale to rise for high crescent lunge. Exhale, fan out, warrior 2. Inhale, coming into starfish pose. Exhale, point the toes in, fold forward, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, starfish, once more. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, goddess pose. Inhale for starfish. Exhale, all 10 toes, point forward. Plant the palms. Chaturanga. To cobra or up dog. And exhale for downward facing dog. Let's take a moment to breathe. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. One more time, everyone. We can do this. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, rise up, high mountain. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, high mountain once more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg comes back. Go ahead and rise up. Exhale, fanning out to warrior 2. Inhale, coming into starfish, open up through the front body. Exhale, toes come in, hinging at the hips, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming up to starfish again. Exhale, sink the hips, bend the knees and elbows. Goddess pose. Inhale for starfish. Exhale, all 10 toes face forward. Plant your palms. Chaturanga to Cobra or up dog. All right, one more side. Inhale, left. Oh, just kidding. That's the other sequence. We're going to inhale, lift to the front of our mat, and exhale, walk our feet to our hands. Thanks for staying with me, you guys. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, high mountain. Exhale for chair. Inhale for high mountain again. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping the right foot back now. Inhaling to rise up for high crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, toes out, heels in, starfish pose. Exhale, toes in, heels out, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, starfish pose. Exhale for goddess. Inhale for starfish. Exhale, all 10 toes point forward. Coming into our plank, moving into our chaturanga. To Cobra or up dog. Leaning back in a downward facing dog, we're going to inhale up to the top of our mat. Exhale, walk our feet to our hands. We're going to crouch down so small into a little ball. And from here, we're going to roll slowly onto our backs. And just take a moment to rest here. That was a lot of really good work that everyone did. Really give yourself a hug. Maybe even give yourself a hug like you would give a friend a hug. Really curling in on yourself. When you're ready, bringing your feet down to meet the mat. Knees are bent. From here, we're going to bring our right ankle across our left quad like so to come into a figure four. From here, you can stay just like this if you feel sensation here. If you're searching for more sensation, you can interlace your fingers behind that left thigh. And if you're looking for even more sensation, you can interlace your fingers in front of the left shin. If your neck and your head has to be off the ground to hold this pose, then you're probably taking it too far. Okay, so don't be afraid to dial back. And remember too that engaging that right foot, really flexing that right foot, protects that right knee. We're twisting and opening through the hip instead of the knee socket. If you like this pose right here, you can stay here for the next 3 to 5 breaths. If you're looking for another twist, you can bring your arms out to T or to cactus, okay, palms facing up. You can drop that left foot to the ground if it's left the ground, and you can stamp that right foot down on your left side with your legs still in the same position. So we're here in figure four, just dropping. Just taking a couple breaths here. If you've dropped into the twist, using your core to bring yourself back up to center, go ahead and bringing that right foot back down to meet the mat, moving on to the other side, crossing that left ankle across that right quad. Okay, option to stay here, option to interlace the fingers behind the right thigh or in front of the right shin. If you're searching for that twist on the other side, that right foot can meet the mat again. Arms can come out to T or cactus, and you can drop to the right side, stamping that left foot on the ground. If you've dropped into the twist, using your core to pull yourself back to center. Both feet are on the mat. Once more, we're going to move into some bridges as a counter stretch. So from here, arms are by your sides, palms can be face down. You're going to inhale, peel your hips and your lower back off the mat. Okay, you don't want to have a flexed chin here. You want it to be relaxed. Okay, you're engaging through the glutes and the quads. You're squeezing your thighs together so your knees aren't splaying out. Squeezing them together, the foundation in your feet is even. If you want to take it further, you can shimmy your shoulder blades, snuggle them together under your back, interlace your fingers, as long as the sides of your forearms are on the ground. Holding this for just a couple breaths, finding the ease in the top half of the body and the engagement in the lower half. If you've interlaced the fingers, gently separating them again, slowly lowering your hips back down. Moving into our final pose before Shavasana, happy baby. So go ahead and grab either your ankles, your shins, or the outsides of your feet. The key is to have your elbows on the insides of your knee. That's how you'll get the hip opening. So this is wrong. This is right. And again, you don't need to be grabbing your feet. You can grab ankles, shins, whatever makes the elbows on the insides of the knees accessible to you. Taking a couple moments to feel this slight inversion. Maybe you can rock back and forth on your spine if that feels good. Take these next 5 to 10 breaths to do any other poses that you would like to do in order to make this practice feel complete to you. When you're ready, finding your final resting place. Shavasana, lying on your back. Palms can be face up or face down. Taking these next couple minutes simply to enjoy the feeling that you have from all the work you just put into this practice. Simply just letting go. Beginning to bring our awareness back to this space, making small movements with the body, whatever that may be for you. Moving on to larger movements in the body, starting to really wake up the extremities. Maybe even coming into a full body stretch if that feels good. When you're ready, slowly finding yourself in a seat at the top of your mat again. Hands come to heart center, eyes closed. This is such an interesting time right now. And I really appreciate all of you signing on here and doing this yoga with me. I hope that you found some benefit from it. I hope that you had fun and you're leaving feeling happier than when you came in. We're going to do this again next week, so make sure you sign on. Yeah, this is us signing off now, so I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Namaste. And we'll see you.